Okay, theme music. That took a while to come in. Okay, welcome to the week 3 recap for the Halawa Fantasy Football League. We have one guest today. It's Eric. You guys can join later if you want. So let's share the screen. Today's theme is...
Where's everyone?
Mike
Did
has...
you say 3-0 people only or something?
I guess so. It was open to you all. It wasn't just the winners only. So...
Yeah. Come on, Mike.
Yeah, you don't understand Hawaiian anyway. Sounds so realistic. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen. So the theme of the week was kind of like kickers. All kind of kickers. I'm gonna share it with sound because we're gonna watch some videos. You see it? This one hurt me a lot.
Yes. Lions fan. Ouch.
With 3 seconds to play. 49 straight field goals. This is the guy you want, Greg. If you're in this situation, I can't think of a better option. This is for an FFL record 66 yards. On its way.
I thought it bounced backwards, but it bounced forward.
And it's good! Oh my God! Oh my goodness!
The Lions did have this game.
Did that just happen, Greg?
The interesting thing about that kick was Aaron might have been able to win with that too in his game. We'll look at it later. Here's another one. Did you see this one?
Ladies and gentlemen, Matt Prater's going to line up for a 68-yard field goal. This will be the longest field goal in NFL history, the longest field goal in football history. 68-yard attempt.
Got it up. Wins out of the end zone.
So
Wait, did defense get the points for that?
yeah, because it's special teams play. So even that one too, it's on a Lions team too because Matt Prater was a long time Lions kicker, went to Arizona, and the guy who returned, Jamal Agnew, was a Lion too. It's all about the Lions kicking game. And then the last one, the last kicking thing that was interesting was your game, yours and Gary. But we're gonna roast Gary for that game.
I apologize to Garrett for that. I actually thought I lost. Like in the morning, I said, I'm happy 2-1.
Okay,
But the Eagles, man, they're so horrible.
that game was boring, but it made your guys a couple of the fantasy games interesting. Anyway, let's look at it. So here's the recap of the week. I think the best way to look at it is the stat tracker. You see it? What is going on? Oh, we'll start with me versus Richie. This was supposed to be a close matchup, 143 to 141, but Richie, poor Richie, he got too bad.
The hamstring virus.
Yeah, at least he's not out for the year. He also kind of like bombed with AJ Brown. I didn't do so hot either. I just had a couple of guys that were pretty good, but like I had bad scores. Lamb was bad, Carter was bad, Moore was bad. Our defense is average. So like I think a lot of the scores were kind of like low. There was only 3 really high scoring games. I left a couple points on the board anyway. But that's tough on Richie. He's gonna have to try to find a replacement for McCaffrey. And then he was the only other one who was undefeated. So it was between you, me, and Richie. Well, at least between me and Richie, someone was gonna lose. And then unfortunately, because of McCaffrey, he lost. James versus Mike. Mike's team is kind of struggling too. Tyson Williams didn't do so good. Mitchell didn't play. Antonio Brown didn't play. Yeah, so he's at least for Mike, he's top of the waiver list, so he'll have a chance to fix it. And there's gonna be some guys available later. So yeah, James won this one. James wins 2 in a row, even though he had some pretty bad scores too. Tanya and Harris. It was kind of bad the whole week, but he left a lot of points on his bench too. And then the next game, Morgan finally pulled out a win. All those moves that he made on waivers, he was able to put together a team that was good enough to beat Darren. But also Darren too. This is like another theme of the week. Everyone is not doing so hot. Julio Jones is kind of down. Rob Gronkowski said he kind of looked pretty bad. Yeah. It was just a down week for a bunch of people except for just a handful of guys. Did you leave some points on the board?
Oh, definitely.
We'll get to your game.
But
Yeah, this
Every
was
week.
this was gonna be like, this was the closest matchup. And like the original projections, you were gonna like, I mean, you were both kind of high scoring, so they both underperformed, just like most everybody else this week. You left points on the board mostly with Kareem Hunt, so you could have improved. But Gary did the cardinal sin of being too much of a fanboy. He started Derek Carr over Matthew Stafford. He started, let's see, I mean, these are all his players: Darren Waller, Kenyon Drake. But then he has Jamar Chase had over 20 points. Williams had 13-4. So he could have just like dominated you, like just destroyed you if he just played it right. But then he had to be a fan and then left it to a kicker. And so, like we were saying, it's the kicker week. What game was that? That was Monday Night Football, right? So it went down to the wire.
Yeah.
So this was one of the close games. And
I wasn't watching it. I was at the beach, but I was like refreshing my phone.
you know,
Every time I hit the refresh button, for some reason, Cowboys would have the ball. So Eagles would have the ball. I hit the refresh button. Cowboys have the ball. I'm like, wait, what is going on? So I was like,
oh, I'm sharing the wrong screen.
I'm gonna lose.
I'm sharing the wrong screen, yeah. You must be like wondering what I'm talking about. Hang on. I'll share the correct screen. I was like, what is going on here? Does that make more sense?
Yeah.
Okay. That was messed up. Anyway, I'll have the correct screen showed when I make the video. Yeah, so here, just a, what was your point differential at the end of Sunday?
Oh, at the end of Sunday, who was the win? I think 5.
It was like
At least
6 points,
10
right?
points or something.
Was it 10? Was it a 10-point differential?
Yeah, at least.
Yeah, so all he needed was, I mean, if it was a kicker game, like if he kicked 2 field goals maybe and an extra point, that would have been enough to win.
Oh, I did notice one thing though.
What?
When like Sunday night, the defense is refreshed and gave me like 4 extra points. I don't know why.
Oh, the stat correction.
Yeah. Like my I best defense.
Oh, maybe that's why. Because I thought your differential was 6 points. So
Yeah, I think it went down. It went down.
so it went up to 10.
It was 10 and it went down to 6 because I got 4.
Oh.
That I needed so badly.
Yeah, so that was the most. I thought that was going to be the only close game. But yeah, And it was funny because the kicker was super active. He was kicking a lot of extra points. He made 5 extra points. But he also missed one. He missed 1 extra point. But no field goals. They just kept getting it into the end zone. So
Yeah, that is.
you can thank the Dallas offense for that. That's when
Thanking
Ezekiel...
the Eagles defense.
Yeah, Ezekiel Elliott
It's
showed
like-
up too.
Oh, man, Gary made a good move. He picked up Dalvin Cook.
Who?
Not Dalvin Cook. Madison. Dalvin Cook's.
Oh, his handcuff?
Yeah, that's like.
Oh yeah, we'll get to him. He was the big point winner. So yeah, the other I thought you guys were gonna be the only close game, but it was interesting because both Aaron and Brad ended up being a super close game too. Because Jalen Hurts was really stinky in the beginning, and then when he was like feeding Godert, the points for Godert is more valuable than the points for Hurts are, right? Because 25 yards for a point for a quarterback, 4 points for a touchdown versus 10 yards is a point for a wide receiver, and they get 6 points for a touchdown. And then there was actually one point in the game where it was at the very end where the score was just decimal points apart. Jalen Hurts threw like a long pass to Godert, and it pushed Aaron up, so Aaron was winning because of that. But then they got called for a holding penalty, and they took it back, and then he never went back to Godert after that again. And then it was just like they drove all the way down the line and then threw a touchdown, but not to him. So that kind of like
It's like to the other tight end, right?
but this game was like super close to the very like end of the game. Like Aaron really had a chance. Like at first he didn't, but then the way the game played out, he had a chance. And then again, he had Justin Tucker. That might have been enough for him to win, but he would have needed to kick like a 76-yarder for that to happen. Yeah, so that was the other really, really close game. That was the only 2 games, and I feel bad for Aaron just because he had the 3rd highest score this week. But unfortunately, he went up against the guy with the 2nd highest score. So he would have got a win against anybody else. It was just a chance of matchup. So too bad, Aaron.
I think if any one of your players breaks a record, you should automatically win.
I was thinking of like, should I let him have a free win?
So rare, like a 66-yard field goal.
Yeah, but he did it against Detroit. I'm not gonna let him win because of that.
Especially.
Salty. Lines are sad. Okay. And then the last game for the recap. The highest score of the week was Jeremy. Just solid across the board with the exception of Hopkins, who you expect to do good. I guess he just had a down game. And Ryan Suckup. Mike had a good... His only good play was Jared Allen, and everyone was either average, and then unfortunately for him, Dalvin Cook got hurt too. Do you know what's wrong with him? I didn't actually check
Is this new?
what hurt him.
I mean, they knew they announced it before the game, so I don't know why he didn't change the lineup. But it's more like a precaution, I think.
Oh, okay. So he'll probably come back soon. Alright. Okay. So that's the recap for the week. Let's just look at waivers really quick, and then we can wrap it up. The top guys, I already know who the top guys are going to be. They're going to be both running backs. I think this is one who Morgan dropped. He didn't do so good in the first game, but then he's been like consistent the next 2. So he's going to be one at the top of the list. And then the other guy is Chuba. Just because he's going to have all the carries. He may not be as talented as McCaffrey, but he's going to be a number 1 by default. And that's always better than having a timeshare back. If anybody's looking for other players, look at wide receivers. There's always good wide receivers, though. It's like, I think for Arizona, they kind of have like a revolving door of receivers. Like one guy's going to do good one week, another week. Sanders is kind of like, I don't know. I don't know if I trust that. That's one huge score. He might come back down to earth. And then here, Hunter Renfrow, you can pick him up, Gary. Build the Raiders. There's not much else available. I'm noticing too though that like defenses are gonna tend to be like a wild card. Let's base it on the last week. Week 3. I'll make it all players. So you
Yeah, I can figure out defense.
Huh?
Defense scores are so high.
well they're either high or they're average. So it becomes it is a real wild card though. But look, there's like Cincinnati, Dallas, and Miami. They're all available and they could have gave you almost 20 to 30 points each. I think that's it for the waivers. But as far as who's the waiver order, it's reverse of the standings. So the standing is obviously the record first and then points for after. So if you really want to jump down, you have to lose everybody, and then I think you can jump to the head of the waiver wire on purpose if you just don't play players, so you get your points fours down. But I like how it works because it helps the guys who are struggling, and then Mike kind of needs some help. I don't know, what can Mike do? Mike can either go for Chuba Hubbard or Zach Moss. Oh, and then Mike put Antonio Brown on your IR. Then you can have a free slot too, because he has COVID. Yeah, that's it. Oh, I know. I forgot. I always forget about this. Have you done the league pick'em?
Yeah, I did last week.
So I did the first couple weeks, but I forgot last week. So I noticed nobody's been doing them. So look. I guess it is
I did
just
bad last week.
it's just you versus me.
Well, good you didn't play. Now I can catch up.
Yeah. I should put a prize on it. Like
Too late now. Everyone is like 2 games back.
if you win the league pick'em, you get to choose where you want to draft. You get to choose your draft pick. Yeah, so here's the league pick'em again. You just choose the matchups. It's super quick. I know it's for bragging rights, but I don't know. Maybe it'll mean your draft position next year. If you win, you get to choose where you want to pick. All right. So that's it. So we'll pick it up next week. So thanks for joining. See you guys later.